Curtis Calhoun with Fansided MMA, and today I am joined by Cody Christian, who plays Bellator fighter Nick Newell in the upcoming motion picture Notorious Nick. Cody, thanks again for your time. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
To start this off, just kind of tell us a little bit about the film and what fans can expect from Notorious Nick.
Yeah, man, it's a journey of sheer will, determination, heart, passion. I tell the true story of a fighter on the East Coast. His name is Nick Newell. He was born with a congenital amputation. In the midst of high school, kind of fell in love with the art of wrestling. From there, kind of blossomed into mixed martial arts and pursuing a career as a fighter. And all the things that he had to overcome, the limitations put on him by the outside world, knowing what he was capable of and what he wanted to accomplish, and kind of overcoming the resistance that came his way, all the way to becoming a title championship fighter. So it's one hell of a true story, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And what's it like being involved in a movie that is a true story? Is it more difficult than some of the other film projects in your career?
I wouldn't say more difficult, but there's more refined focus. You're telling somebody's real story. So going into this project, I felt the pressure immediately. There's an expectation. I just want to bring a performance that Newell himself would be proud to see. Like it's something that he would want to show his friends and family. Like, hey, check this out. This is a representation of my life and my journey. And his journey is so inspiring, man. And him as an individual, just no limitations in life. And I think that's an important message that anyone at any age could benefit from hearing. So just really dialing in on the truth and the authenticity and doing as much as I possibly can to tell a story that he's proud of. So again, difficulty wise, it's not harder. It's just there's more work involved. But with a story like this, it doesn't feel like work. So I was excited to dive as deep as I could.
In terms of the sport itself, are you a fan of MMA? And if so, who are some fighters that you like watching?
Absolutely. So I've watched MMA for a long time. I wouldn't say I'm the craziest fan, but I've spent a large amount of time watching UFC competitions. I actually trained a little bit in mixed martial arts, just a little bit of striking in general. I fell in love with jiu-jitsu, just like the art form behind it. I thought it was crazy, just the mindset of it. You're playing human chess in a game of infinite like solutions, so to speak, and the idea that it teaches you this like mental calmness. And that's another thing about fighting, right? That I didn't really understand until I was immersed in the world, is how mentally disciplined these people are outside of just, staying on a regime and training and staying at that level of dedication. But to be able to be in a fight in a high intensity situation, but keep this and this calm and collected was crazy to me. Mentally liberating, honestly. So yeah, I dabbled in mixed martial arts a little bit, trained jiu-jitsu for about 3-4 years, fell in love with that. But as far as like fighters go, I'm a big McGregor fan. I just watched the last McGregor fight. Crazy what happened.
Right.
I remember watching a lot of George St. Pierre. I really liked him as a fighter. Uriah Faber, I liked him as a fighter. Anderson Silva. I'm a huge fan of like John Jones too, when he was at the top of his game, or he still is. But yeah, man, I've definitely been a fan of the sport. Fighting is always something, and I don't know if this is shared amongst a lot of people or not, but I saw it and I always had like this admiration for it of like, wow, I would love to do that. I know maybe I probably wouldn't, but wow, wouldn't it be cool to like be a fighter, be trained as a fighter? Yeah, I probably thought that as a kid. So to be able to have a slice of that reality, to experience, what these fighters go through, even on the training side, because when we were doing this movie, I didn't do the easy way around things. I really wanted to be in it. I wanted to be doing everything. I wanted to be in the octagon. I wanted to be tossed around, going through these extreme training routines. I wanted to really bring, again, that life to it. I wanted a real fighter to watch it and be like, okay, I believe that. I've done that. I've seen that. I've experienced it. Because the community of mixed martial arts, man, it's it's been around forever, and it's
Yeah.
deeply rooted in respect. Like these are athletes on another level. So anything shy of a perfect representation or a believable representation of a fighter would have just been disrespectful to me. So as much work as I could do, as much prep, studying, being able to tell this story, like I did it.
And what was it like working with Nick Newell specifically? And what was that relationship during the whole production process?
So I never, at this point, when we were in pre-production shooting wise of the film, Nick was actively training and working
Right.
as a fighter. So I didn't have much, if any, contact with him during the process of filming. The producers, however, spent a large portion of time in his hometown with Nick, with his family, learning the story. So they were pretty much my on-hand resource for anything and everything Nick related. So I haven't had the chance to like sit down and speak to him. I'm honestly nervous, man. I put
Right.
so much effort and energy into this movie and to telling his story. I just want him to watch it and to like it, to feel a sense of pride. Again, back to what I was saying, to be proud of seeing his story told in the way that we did and on the screen. So I'm looking forward to that conversation, and again, hopefully he likes it.
And then you touched on it a little bit earlier, but in terms of the things that you learned about the sport of MMA, did you almost kind of gain more appreciation for the sport itself and what these athletes have to go through?
Oh my God, tenfold. Absolutely. I mean, it's one thing to be able to watch the process and to commentate on it when you're not in the driver's seat, but to really, and the cool thing too is shooting this movie, I was around a lot of real fighters, a lot of the stunt guys, real fighters. We had Eve Edwards in, real fighter. We had this guy, Sammy, professional boxer from Chicago. So I was immersed in this
Right.
world with these guys, constantly checking in, like, hey, how did you feel about this? And what do you think about that? And what would you do before a fight? What was your training like? Like really diving in to the heads of these fighters, because again, authenticity. I wanted to bring the best. And having gone through that experience, having learned what these guys do physically, mentally, the stakes that they carry, what it feels like to walk into an octagon and perform and deliver, like it's out of this world, man.
Mhm.
So to have gone through this process and literally just get a slice of what these guys live daily and are dedicated to, my respect and admiration for anybody within that world has gone through the roof. Absolutely.
How do you think audiences will relate to this film specifically as an underdog story?
I mean, it's that exactly. It's an underdog story, right? It's somebody achieving the impossible. And when we really allow ourselves to be honest and say, this is what I want out of my life, this is the dream that I'm willing to dedicate myself um, to be able to see somebody that has done it
Right.
with outstanding limitations. I think it's an inspiring journey and a story of will and dedication and what you can achieve when you make that decision for yourself inside, both here and in here. And I think anyone and everyone can benefit from that. I think at some point in everyone's life, we've all felt like the underdog chasing the thing that
Mhm.
we really desire. And it's no different. I think this story is relatable to anyone and everyone living life. You know what I mean? Trying to get the most out of the life that they want to live.
Absolutely. And I'm so excited to check out the film. Before we go, I'll kind of give you the final word to promote the film and
Yeah.
let fans know where we could find you on social media.
Awesome, man. Well, first and foremost, I appreciate the time, all the questions. Notorious Nick's going to be available August 6th, limited theaters, pretty much anywhere you can rent, stream movies. And listen, it's a one in a lifetime kind of story. And myself and everyone involved, producers, director, the cast, everyone really gave it their all. Everyone was inspired and passionate about this project. So, we did everything on our end, and we really just hope that you enjoy the film and are inspired by it and inspired by this true story. And if you want to stay up to date, check in with everything, Instagram, just my name, Cody Christian, tap in and we can go from there. But hey, I appreciate you and I appreciate you guys and enjoy the film.
Absolutely. Well, Cody, thanks again for your time. And I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Curtis, thanks, buddy.